Hey, thanks for joining us on Crafting and Stampin' with Carrie B and
Scout B,
my special guest. Today we're going to be trying out the Penguin Place Suite from Stampin' Up. It drops on August 3rd in the Celebration catalog. We got an early release sneak peek of it to show you. We're going to teach you how to make a card with it. So grab your cookbook and join us for Christmas in July.
make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Okay, so we are again covering Penguin Place. That's in the Celebration catalog coming out August 3rd. Today we're going to just assemble the card for you so you can see how it's done. So the first thing that I suggest doing is after you've stamped and cut out your penguin pieces, these are fussy cut pieces. The only thing that works with the punch is this stamp and the feet. This doesn't get assembled because it kind of is flying in the air over the little penguin. I would suggest that you get your glue, get a little sponge. We suggest using tweezers because some of these pieces are really little. So what I usually do is just kind of dip in like that. This is a beak. Get your feet. Go ahead, Scout. Just gonna dip in there. I like to have the glue ready because it's easier to work with if it got it all squeezed out on the side there. This apparently is.
And you can wipe off the excess too.
Yeah, on the excess, exactly. Sometimes I just use the thing I've got the glue on to manipulate the glue on the place where I'm putting it. These are gonna get assembled first so that they dry while we're working on the card background.
And these things are hard to pick up.
Yeah, that's why I suggest the tweezers, because it works a lot easier if you have the... So, okay, the penguin's beaks go underneath. This glue dries clear, so you don't have to worry about it showing. Just have to kind of manipulate it. And then if you've got a little extra glue like I did on the back, you know, if you're worried about it sticking, you can sort of flip it over to dry.
I put their beaks like this, like upside down triangles.
Yeah, they're cute. Yeah, there's definitely one side that's longer.
But that's okay, because it just makes it seem like nothing's perfect, because nothing is really perfect.
No. Yeah, hold it like a little bit. The tweezers are also good for keeping it off of your fingers. And then you can choose to put a hat on your penguin or not. I'm gonna skip it.
I'm choosing to put a hat on my penguin, this one right here.
All right, this is kind of a tricky part because again, you know, you have to trim it to fit your card. I made this out of watercolor card. It would probably be easier if I used the Stampin' Up cards. They're all pre-trimmed. But I had this supply on hand, so this is what I wanted to use. So there we go. So then what we have is our hill. Now I'm not going to put any glue on it yet because what I'm going to do is I want it to meet up with the bottom and the sides of my background. Then what I do is when I go to glue this, I don't put glue, Scout, I don't put glue all over the back. I just put it on the bottom like edge right here. Because what I want to be able to do is tuck the other hill underneath. So you just sort of, there's a little bit of glue, just wipe it with your finger, it dries clear. So then what I'm going to do is, because I want to be able to tuck this, see, and slide it around where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and get this hill looking right kind of where I want it. And then I'm going to take a pencil or something, probably a pencil or a blade, and I'm going to make a mark. I just use my scissors on something like that. I find my blade mark, and then I just cut it about as straight as you can. I really want to get the snips from Stampin' Up, but they were out of stock, so I have to wait. And I'm gonna slide it in, again, sliding it in. You can use your tweezers if you're having a hard time manipulating. I know a lot of people with dexterity issues, and tweezers are just, for those people and myself, absolutely indispensable in your toolkit. All right.
I'm kind of gonna put my glue on the top and kind of on the bottom, just because, like.
That's okay. I think it's good to give yourself, like, sometimes I have a design in mind and I think I want to do something, but then when I get things laying out, like this one, I want him to look like he's further back. So I want to be able to tuck. And this one's going to be here, but we're not going to place those yet. That's not quite yet. The next thing I'm going to do is take this little lavender, I'm just going to put this sort of over here.
Here's mine so far.
Great, it looks great. I would just wipe this with there so it doesn't dry shiny. You want to get your lavender. Okay, and then the next thing we've got is these swooshes. This is what I did next. I'm going to tuck it behind the hill.
They kind of just symbolize the penguin, like going past the other penguin and knocking them into the air. And I think that's a really cool design.
I think it's so funny. And our audience is cheering. They haven't seen this other penguin in the air yet. It's happening so fast. It's like that lady that knocked over that in Tour de France that held a sign out in front of everybody and she got knocked over a bunch of people. That was insane. This is kind of that. Or if you watch rally car races like Daddy does,
Yeah.
then you've seen the audience is often very close to the action. And that's what we're dealing with here.
You know, that might have happened where someone got knocked out of the air.
So the next thing I'm going to do, the Scout's working on her swooshes, is I'm going to start putting these dimensional tape dots on the back of my things that I want to poke out from the narrative or the story that's being told here. I like these hexagon shapes. Is this a hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's hexagon, right? Hexagon.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like a honeycomb shape.
I really like that honeycomb shape. I think
Me
it's
too.
I think
It
it's
works
a really
great.
cool shape.
I'm gonna go ahead and when I'm working, I'm just doing these things naturally, but I'm putting the tape dot over where this is glued, and it sort of adds another level of reinforcement for that little foot. It's not mandatory, but you know, it's the kind of thing I'm thinking about when I'm creating stuff. I don't want to put him yet. I want to put the back, working back to front.
I'm kind of putting my stripe a little bit like under, like a little bit like this.
These are easy to reposition, but the black sort of disappears, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Do you want to use these next?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put my back penguin, and he's in the back. Put him. You can see, like when I placed it, when I was messing around a little while ago, I placed this too low. So that's why I don't glue anything down right away. I don't, without doing like the back to the front. This guy's next. He's sailing. Maybe you want to put him way behind. Maybe he's really winning. This guy's really winning, way out front.
See, I'm doing the opposite where I'm putting this guy in the front, so he's winning.
Okay. Whatever you want to do. Just so long as the front of the swoosh is covered up by him. The back doesn't really matter. I like what you did there where it's kind of showing. Okay, this guy is, whoa, he's flying up in there. And then his hat, or her, I don't know, whatever. His little hat. You gotta put a dimensional, if it's, it might be too big. That's okay if that's the case, just use a little glue. Oop.
See, So here I have these guys finished.
All right, looks good.
And this guy's gonna be flying up in the air.
This one's hat is flying. I'm gonna make sure that I like to have the penguin and the hat on the purple dot myself because it sort of explains this, draws the eye up to this little storyline that's happening aside from this storyline back here. So that's the way I do it. And then the last thing, oh, you know what? A string. Let's do that before we forget. What I do on the string is I use a snowball to hide it. You can use a lot of glue on these if you want. I put the string on the back of the snowball, and then I stick it down anywhere.
Oh, that's a really
and it sort of
idea.
anchors it. I just kind of hold it there for a second. This snowball's going to be at the back, so it's not going to be as prominent. And then what I did when I did the original one is I sort of looped this around, and then I just kind of looped it around the penguin up in the air, and sort of just tucked it under like that. You can kind of poke under here and feel where the dimensional is. Okay. And then on my other card, I put it behind the hat, but I kind of like it in front of the hat. Like the hat flew off first. That could be there. And this just kind of, we'll anchor this with just like some little bit of glue or something as we go. Maybe some sequins. Now comes the fun detail part, is you can take the snowballs, and see, this is why I have tweezers. You can take the snowballs and you can sort of allow them to do their cover up your dirty work. If you've got some kind of uneven thing happening on the edge of your snowbank over here, like I did, that's okay. You put a snowball. Just put a snowball. Some of these. Also, what if you get a little bit extra too much glue? That's okay. Just cover it up. Don't forget we have our sequins still. Don't panic. I want to have, I think this guy was a snowball vendor, that like snow cones or something.
Yeah, I like how he kind of has a bunch of snowballs over here and he kind of gets knocked away from them.
Yeah, like, whoa. It can kind of poke off of the page a little bit, like off of the border a little bit. That adds a little bit of whimsy. We like whimsy. People like whimsy. And these can even be over the swoosh because this is past tense. This is something that's happening after they passed. They knocked him, and then so this can be on the top. So that's how that works.
And you can put as many snowballs as you want. You can put, like, I like to put the snowballs like up in the air, like flying up with them.
Yeah, it's almost like confetti. You can have one roll way far away down here, like, whoa, it just really, a lot of force happened when this event occurred.
It doesn't have to be super like, symmetrical.
Orderly, huh?
Yeah, it like whenever something falls or whenever something is knocked out of the air, like this penguin, nothing is really like super perfect. It's all just kind of like doing its own thing.
Mm-hmm. These scrap pieces are really convenient. I saw, I also do like paper sculpture with like Cricut and stuff. And I follow this company called Dreaming Tree that does these like 3D designs. And the man that does the tutorials explained you could use a little piece of glue like that. I mean, a little piece of scrap paper to act as a little bit of like a spatula. And that's a very handy technique. I really like that technique. So shout out to Leo at Dreaming Tree for that. Comes in handy. And I think I'm just about done.
I'm putting like a tower of snowballs.
Yeah, I really like that. I like that. Because I think if I was a snowball vendor, I would definitely have them stacked in like a pyramid.
Yeah, like you know how you like stack, like, you know how in school we used to have this game where we could stack. It was like the person who could stack the cups most orderly and most fastest was like the winner. And I think that's kind of what I was thinking. Like maybe the vendor had a challenge with someone, and they were like trying to stack the.
Oh, maybe there was
snowballs.
like a mini game going on.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking.
Oh, maybe the people who set up the Penguin Olympics need to be more careful of where they set their events up.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, so now I'm using some of these iridescent sequins. I'm kind of new to Stampin' Up, so I have stash, but Stampin' Up does make sequins of all different colors. I haven't gotten that extensive of a stash from them yet, but I had these on hand left over from Valentine's Day, and hey, that's okay. You know, recycle your stash. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Those also kind of look like snowflakes, so you can like put them in the air.
Crafting doesn't happen in a vacuum. I mean, I assume most everybody who's at the level of card making that we're at probably has a really extensive stash of things. But I guarantee that you don't have this cute penguin set because it doesn't come out till August 3rd. So I'm going to be updating because I really love this set. It is adorable.
I think I'm just going to put like a few sequins. I'm not going to put so much.
Yeah, I think you could also do it like in a row, like you could use the sequins to illustrate what you're
like cold like wind and stuff.
Well, that's about it for me. I'm going to sign my card on the back.
I think I'm done after this little sequence.
Okay. Oops. Careful if you flip it over.
I just want to put like 2 on.
Boop. And I forgot. I've got to do this too. I've got to secure my string.
The sequence won't get off my...
Oh, I kind of like how it got crazy like this. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to use a sequin.
All right.
Are the sequins attacking you, Scout?
Yeah, they are. They're like all over my hands. I'm trying to get them
We'll do
off.
that. That'll help. Just secure it. Do whatever you want.
So I'm done.
The more random, the better. Okay.
I'm done with mine. I'm going to go ahead and sign it.
Well, I would wait on yours. I would wait. Yep, I would wait. Because I ran into a problem. And also it messed up your string.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I think lesson learned, right? Yeah.